Hello, everyone. Happy New Year, nearly. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Swig Stocks Football. In this video, we are going to look at Game Week 19, the fixtures that are going to be happening over the new year to start things off, to start the new year off. So, fingers crossed, we can start off the year with 3 points. Us Spurs, highly doubt it. Doubt we will, but let's find out and let's see what predictions this guy has thought of before the new year. So kicking us off, we are going to start with Burnley hosting Newcastle. So with this, I am going to go comfortable enough win Newcastle 2-0 straight off the back. Can't see Burnley causing them a problem as such. Although they are at home, I can see Newcastle just simply putting it to bed. I'm going 2-0, a Voltemada, Gordon, first half double, and then that'll be that, pretty much. Bog standard, simple, no nonsense. Next, Bournemouth and Chelsea. So Chelsea are at home against Bournemouth. So it would be interesting to see how they get on with them. Bournemouth obviously languishing in 15th as of the time of this recording, but depending on if they have beaten Brentford, which if you check on my last predictions, I've said that they have, but maybe they will. Maybe they have done now. So if I got that right, yay. If I didn't, nay. But I can see Chelsea being comfortable enough winners with Bournemouth. Chelsea have just looked too strong. They've looked really, really strong the last number of weeks, and so for that reason, I'm going to go with them 3, Bournemouth 1 for that. Next up, then we have Everton versus Nottingham Forest. So this would be the Sean Dyche derby in terms of Forest versus Everton. I can see this being I don't think this will be too entertaining to watch. I think both teams will set up really defensive minded. They will want to hit on the counter attack if and where possible. I think Forest are more threatening in the attacking sense, but I think Everton have a better defence than them. So it'll be really interesting to see the likes of maybe how Hudson-Odoi and Morgan Gibbs-White go up, against the likes of James Garner in midfield, and even maybe Mikalenko if he's on the left hand side, seeing how he goes up against some of the players, maybe even in Dong or in Ndoi, who they signed from Bologna. But yeah, so for that reason, I'm thinking a Desmond 2-2 Desmond, Nottingham Forest 2, Everton 2 at that one. Next up, then we have West Ham versus Brighton. So it should be an interesting game on paper. Both teams seem to be struggling to get 3 points as of late. So for that reason, I do think it'll be an entertaining watch. I think both teams need to dip into the transfer window in order to get someone. West Ham obviously have now loaned out Fulcrook to AC Milan, so it'll be interesting to see if they go back in for the window to see if they get someone. And Brighton, we all know Brighton, their data set model and their recruitment policy is second to none. So I think they'll probably try and strengthen in certain areas, maybe up top, because Routier hasn't really fired in the goals. Welbeck has done insane, and so has Minte, but I think Brighton will be back in and trying to get maybe more an attacking profile player for January transfer window. But that's neither here nor there. We're on the predictions, so for that reason, I'm going to go 2-2 a Desmond for Brighton and West Ham in that sense. But I think West Ham need 3 points, maybe more so than Brighton. But yeah, I think Brighton and West Ham, they're both level-headed teams, I suppose, at this rate in terms of performance, so I can only see them going forward with the 2-2 draw. Then we have Arsenal versus Villa, the return for Emery to the Emirates. He might put Emery in Emirates if they can repeat what they did at Villa Park a couple of weeks ago, where they beat Arsenal 2-1. So now I can see this being really entertaining, really kind of, I would say, back to forth, end-to-end game. I can see I'm having my Spurs hat on here, but I'm hoping that it is a Villa win. So I'm going to go. I think it'll be a really tough game for Villa, especially at home. Arsenal have looked really, really good and really solid defensively as of late. So maybe by the time that the game comes around in the next week, maybe, I don't know if Gabriel or Saliba. I think Saliba is back, so it'd be interesting to see if both of them are back. Will that contribute to the overall result? Probably will, if they are. That being said, I'm still going to go, I'm fingers crossed, I'm going to go for a Villa 3, Arsenal 2. Yeah, Villa 3, Arsenal 2, I think so. Another Emery masterclass in coming. Next up, we have Man United versus Wolves. Wolves just are they're Wolves. They are a championship club now, nearly at this rate, I would say. In the sense of they just cannot seem to be picking up points. They need, you know, they need goals to be going in, but they're not even doing that. They're not even really creating much chances. So, on the contrary, then United, then obviously Fernandes is now out for a little bit of time, so that'd be interesting to see how they go up without him and his creativity in the midfield. Then could be even better. Maybe this is the chance now for Kobbie Mainoo to step in, and Amarin actually sees the absolute talent that he has at his disposal. He's just choosing to not play him for whatever reason. So for that reason, I'm going to go with United 2, Wolves 0. I think Wolves will just have, they just won't be able to cope with United, especially the United firepower up top. Next up, we have Palace versus Fulham. So Palace and Fulham, both evenly matched teams as of late. You know, they've been doing all right. Palace obviously host Spurs last week, and from my previous reaction, I said that Spurs would win, hopefully. I don't know, I might have been right. I could have been, probably I'm wrong 90% of the time. When it comes to Spurs, I usually am wrong. So with that, however, with Fulham, they hosted West Ham last week, I believe. And so depending on how well they did there, I predicted they went 2-1. But for this one, I'm thinking, bear with me. Yes, I had to make sure, just to double check, my notes are down here. So just to double check, I'm going to go Palace 2, Fulham 1, I think. Because Palace, they don't have a European game in the week. So I do think that actually will help them. And I think that Fulham just, yeah, I don't see Fulham getting a result at Selhurst Park. I could be wrong though. Could be wrong. Next up then we have Liverpool versus Leeds. Leeds seem to be, I was going to say like the Robin Hood, but they're not really, because they take from the rich clubs in fairness, but they're not giving them to the poor clubs, because they seem to be doing well with that against them also. So I'm thinking Liverpool Leeds, it'll be a really, really entertaining game. Again, obviously Leeds beat them the last time out, again at Loftus Road. No, not Loftus Road. Ellen Road, sorry, Loftus Road. I just don't know where that was coming from. At Ellen Road. But I think there'll be a really, really interesting game. A good end-to-end contest, I think. And no, Leeds didn't beat them. They drew. Sorry, they drew. They drew at Liverpool. Sorry, I'm getting my wires crossed. And for that reason, I think that while Leeds are away this time, I still think they will draw the game. I'm going to go with a 2-2 Desmond for that. Second last one then, we have Brentford versus Spurs, the Thomas Frank derby. Will Frank still be in the job come the end of this result? Who knows? Obviously Spurs, we beat them last time out when they came to our ground against Brentford, well, at our ground. Xavi Simons had his first actual proper game, but now where is he to be seen? I'll tell you about it. Not in the starting 11 because of that red card against Van Dijk a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I can see, I'm 95% confident that we will win, and I'd be very surprised if we lose. And if we do lose, questions will be asked over Frank, in terms of, is he the right guy going forward? You know, against his former club, we got it right first time round when we were at home, but now it's a different story when we're away. So hopefully we get 3 points, and that's why I'm going to go with a Spurs 2, Brentford 0. Last fixture then, we have Sunderland against Man City. Sunderland have been probably one of the standout teams, definitely, of this whole calendar year, really. They have been absolutely exceptional, especially in the league now. You know, they're currently sitting, as of this recording, in the top 10. And so, however, they now come up against an absolute juggernaut in Man City, who have been just putting teams to the sword. And Haaland does not seem like he is stopping scoring goals. So it will be really interesting to see how they do against Sunderland, Man City, but I think it'll be relatively comfortable. So I'm going to go Man City 3, Sunderland 1. And yeah, that's it. That's my Game Week 19 Premier League predictions. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. I know my thumb looks a bit wonky there, but give it a thumbs up. Hit the red button below, the comment or the subscribe button, and let me know any of your predictions down below as well. If you comment thinking, will there be an upset? Who you think might get the first goal? Will there be, will Tottenham players actually pull in a performance? Who knows at this rate? They probably won't, and that'd be a great start to the year. So, but you start as you mean to go on. So let's hope it's let's fingers crossed it's a good performance from Spurs, especially because it's been one hard year. Besides the fact that we won the Europa League, which is, still have to pinch myself that we actually did that this year. But yeah, anyways, thank you very much for watching. Like I said, if you enjoyed the video, like, share, comment, all that good stuff, and have a happy new year, and yeah, catch you in a bit. Thanks.